Hello and welcome to Game Titan. Today we'll be looking at another Scratch forum post that has 0 replies and see if we can reply to it. This one looks kind of interesting. It says, I need some help with literally everything. It's posted by Bowlby sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and it says, I have this game called Ninja Rush. My game needs help, like a lot. I'm not that great at coding, but I'm doing this anyway because why not? And it says, here's my game, so we can click on that, and then it says, my menu to go back to the stages is messed up. The goblins throw axes to a point not at you. For some reason on different tests you fall into the ground. For when you pause and go to the menu, I want everything to pause to make my code more understandable. So I'm not sure how much we'll be able to get through during a small amount of time, but we'll see and take a look at least. First, let's test the game. Press space to throw knives. Oh, there's some knives. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can jump over that. Oh, I ran out of knives. I'm not sure if I was supposed to save those. Let's see. Maybe that was one of the problems. No, no more knives. Alright, let's look inside. So, I would say the first thing to make the code more understandable is to make sure that it's organized. There's this cleanup box menu option in the context menu that you can use to make the code laid out vertically, which helps. And one thing I noticed is that there's many when flag clicked blocks. I have a video about how that can cause a lot of race conditions. So one thing I'd recommend to Bowlby is to rearrange this so that you have fewer of these when flag click blocks. I think it'll be a lot less confusing in the long term. And it looks like actually some of that shouldn't be too hard to do. So for example, there was this flag click block that said set volume to 100, and there's another one, let me stop this. There's another one over here which had some initialization. So one thing that you could do is just kind of combine them into a single block here. I was planning to do a video on, if you actually look at one of my other Scratch Forum Replies videos, the one with the slime clicker game, when you have a bunch of blocks, when flag click blocks like this, one of the things that's confusing is you don't really know which one's going to run first. Seems like one of them always runs first, but you don't know, you can't tell just by looking at it which one it is going to be. So you can anyway combine. I'm not sure what this does. That's a common feature of coding. You're not alone. So we can get rid of this. And then a lot of them actually also say just forever, and it looks like it's just kind of testing these different sensing blocks. So one thing that you could do is also just combine those. This is for jumping, but actually it is this that's for jumping. So you could do that, and you couldn't just drag this forever block here. Well, it doesn't even, Scratch doesn't even let you do it, because if this block runs forever, obviously nothing is going to be able to run after it is done, because it'll never be done. But what you can do is drag this inside like that. And for dying when you get hit by the spikes, so you can move that comment over here and get rid of that. Clean up blocks again. Let's see, there's another one over here is saying if it's touching the edge. Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching my series on tower defense games. Obviously this is not a tower defense game, but many of the topics that I covered actually don't have anything to do with tower defense games and would be very relevant here. But we don't really need that anymore either. Let's see if there's any other ones. These look like they are just initialization. So we could move this up. Let's scroll out to make this a little bit faster. All the way up here. And what we could do is maybe put the variable settings together, and maybe do audio. We could do variables and audio, and then let me kill that. Variables and settings, audio settings, and then things that display affect the display of the sprite. They're kind of grouped together and organized a bit better. And here's another flag click block that's running forever, so we can drag this up. Like this. Oh, this one's actually moving. So, let's sing, you move 5 steps, and if you're touching the wall, then you move 0 steps. It's kind of interesting. But I'm guessing that you'd want to move first out of all these different things that we're doing. So let's put this up here. You'd move first and then you'd check all these sensors. Maybe you want to check this up arrow first, I'm not sure. Yeah. Right, clean up. And tutorial comp heat. Kill the enemy, wait a minute. Looks like there's going to be a whole walkthrough. That sounds kind of neat. So this is a little bit easier to see what's going on. So what were the questions? Menu, I don't know where that is. Goblins throw axes. I don't actually see any goblins in the parts of the game that I was able to get to. On different tests you fall into the ground. When you pause and go to the menu, you want everything to pause. We could try that. Let's see. Is there here pause? But not everything is pausing. So when you click pause, you might actually be able to figure this part out, at least, if not the other questions. When you click pause, we can do the same thing over here. This is just running after this initialization, most likely. Make it a little bit more deterministic, so you know what's going to happen each time. And here's when it's checking for clicking on pause. It says hide and set volume to 99 and broadcast wait a minute. That could work where you receive a broadcast that says wait a minute. And here you're saying move 0 steps, but this isn't actually going to stop your ninja from moving, because even though this is running and you're not moving here, this code is still gonna run anyways. It's gonna keep moving 5 steps. So I think that what you actually want is a variable. Unfortunately, it has to be global for all sprites, because your pause button sprite is not the same as your Ninja sprite. But and the reason that having a global variable is not great is now you're forced to have only one idea of paused for the whole game, which may be fine. May be fine for what you want. It's certainly not an issue at this point of your development, but what you can do is say, let's initialize it in the pause button. I think that might make sense. So when the game first starts, then you say paused 0, meaning that the game is not paused. And then when you click on it, then you would set pause to 1, and that'll mean true. And it looks like you have this X here for the stop button. So here, when this is clicked, then you would set paused back to 0, saying that it is true. Let's see if that works. Pause, and then unpause. You can see that. Oh, it's kind of hard to click on this because it's transparent. If you click, see, if you click between these, I think it actually doesn't register. You gotta be very careful to click exactly on the bar. There we go. So is paused as 1, and you click X, and then is paused as 0. Now the Ninja, I suspect you don't even need this anymore. This is probably, I'm guessing, trying to implement the pause. I'm going to get rid of it. And then over here, when you're moving, all you need to do is say if the game is paused. So say if is paused is equal to 1, meaning that the game is paused and you don't want to move. So you actually want to say if is paused is equal to 0, then in that case, get rid of this. In that case, you would move 5 steps. We'll replace that over here and delete this. Let's see how that works. Pause, and there we go. And when we click X, hopefully it'll continue. You do have quite a few other questions, and for the sake of time, I'm going to stop here, but hopefully that was at least a little bit helpful to help you organize your code and implement the pause. If you have other things that are moving in the game, all you would do is wrap those movement functions, movement blocks, in another if statement, just like this one. If the game is not paused, then you actually move, and otherwise you do nothing. Or if you wanted to, you could also have a if-else statement like this, and have maybe a movement if the game is not paused, and some kind of animation where it just moves in place if it is paused. So I hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed this or found it helpful, I would really appreciate your subscription on my YouTube channel and a like on the video. And recently I created a Discord server where you can come and discuss Scratch or coding or anything else really. And the link for that should be in the description of the video. So thank you for watching. Hope that helped. See you next time.